What's going on? What's going on? How y'all doing? Let me see. Okay, before we start, just for whoever might be watching the playback, the link. I don't know if the links even matter to them. Check out the shirt. What it say? Fatherhood never stops. If you're interested in that shirt, if that message resonates with you, the link is in the playback. It's in our Teespring for our Fatherhood Village account. I'm trying to be a better self promoter, but it takes work for me. But I do like my shirts and I wear my shit. So, um, anyway, thanks for joining me. Thanks for watching. For those of you who are watching now and who will be watching later, I appreciate it. Y'all know how I do. We just gonna jump right into this. No subject is off limits. Whatever y'all want to talk about, I want to talk about, whether it's a recent video, a current event, or whatever else. Let me see. Somebody said, you can magazine. I'm not sure what that is. Love and respect though. Felicia Pryor, June McCarthy, Janelli. I'm signed Jatil, and I'm gonna start beating up people's names in a minute. Don Caesar, Lovely, non-monogamous. What about non-monogamous? Um, Nancy St. Clair, how you doing, Nancy? Always nice to see you. Um, I don't know how long I'm gonna be on here, but like I said, nothing's off limits. So I'm gonna start looking for questions and do my best. If y'all see some trolls or some haters, report them, block them, do whatever. I haven't planned any moderators. I haven't talked to anybody, but if anybody's interested, I think I know how to push the button and make somebody. Yep, I can add you as a moderator now if you want to be a moderator. Um, I don't know, put a just an M in the comment section. I only need like one or two though. I don't need like 50. Anyway, if you put an M in the comment section, first two M's become moderators as long as I recognize your name. I gotta know you. Gotta trust you a little bit. Anyway, let's jump into this. Lovely says, what to do when a man wants your number and you're on a date with another. Damn sure don't. You're gonna have to miss that opportunity. If you're on a date with somebody and the guy's asking for your number, the worst thing you can do is not only not oblige him or give him any energy at all. Like, you're not even supposed to acknowledge another man if you're in front of a man and you're trying to make an impression on your date. Now, if you don't give a damn about your date, I think it's still very disrespectful if a person went out of their way to meet you somewhere, be with you somewhere, give you their time, and respect your time by giving you a decent enough experience. It's extremely disrespectful to be on the phone texting another man, talking to another man, which has happened to me before, and also be giving out your number to other guys, or even flirting and going back and forth. You're not really even supposed to be energetically available to other guys, just out of respect for the man that's in front of you, even if you don't like him and you don't have chemistry. That's the type of stuff that sends guys right over to the red pill. They have animosity, they have resentment for women because of disrespectful events and things like that, and that's why they're so easily impassioned to go to war with women in the shadows of love, just because many of them have experienced really disregarding, degrading, and disrespectful things, like a woman giving her number out while she's on a date with him, or texting another man while she's on a date with him, or being nasty and rude to him, or dismissing him in a way that was unnecessarily rough and raggedy. So just be careful in the way you deal with people. That's just one of those things. You don't want that energy to come back on you. And I do believe that we get what we give at times. Not to say that good people always get good, but I think if you're shitty, you'll get more shitty than the average person. Um, Somebody says, oh, look at this. Okay, the comments unfroze for me. That's good. Don Caesar, 11 respect. She said, hey, Kev, can you shed light on ethically monogamous relationships? Isn't it the same? So you see ethically non-monogamous relationships, I think what you meant. Isn't it the same as open relationships or swinging? I'm seeing this more and more in the dating profiles. Why are women accepting this? Women are accepting that because I'm gonna be honest, a lot of people are accepting it out of fear, not because they believe in the lifestyle, not because they want that for themselves, but because they've actually lost hope in finding a person who won't cheat, or who won't be dishonest. They've lost hope in finding a healthy monogamous relationship So they're attempting to try a different relationship structure. But I think that when a non-monogamous, ethically non-monogamous relationship is fear-based, it doesn't work because it's never really what that person wanted. It's only them desperately trying to find a way to stay in a relationship, and hold on to a partner and get companionship. So for those, like me and my wife watch Seeking a Sister Wife, and there's one couple on Seeking a Sister Wife where the woman doesn't even want a non-monogamous relationship. She's really just hoping not to get cheated on. And she says, well, men are going to cheat anyway. I might as well get with a guy who has two or three other women. That way he's too busy to cheat. And I've accepted, I know these women that he's going to cheat with. But she doesn't actually believe in the lifestyle. That's not what her purpose or her passion. She's not being brought to it out of a belief. She's being brought to it out of absolute fear, anxiety, and stress about a man cheating on her and her not knowing about it. I don't think that those types of relationships have any more staying power than the other ones, because that woman hasn't really worked out her jealousies and her insecurities, and ultimately that man is going to keep trying to adding wives. It's still not going to work. So ethically non-monogamous relationships, when someone believes in that, when someone believes in the family structure that one can have, when somebody believes in the free flow of love, truly in their hearts, I think they can be okay, I guess, for the people who engage in them. They're not for everybody. Some people don't want to share, and I don't think that it's natural for everyone to share. So I don't really have a problem with them. I just think that if you believe in it, you should do it. If you don't believe in it, don't do it out of fear. Women are accepting it because there's a scarcity mentality, and everybody thinks that there's no guys out there. Good men are hard to find. All of these bullshit um, uh, rhetorics that really give everybody a fear-based mindset. Yes, good men are hard to find. Good human beings are hard to find. Good women are hard to find. And as much as y'all hate when I put those videos up and no one wants to watch those videos, it's absolutely true. Good women are hard to find because every woman complaining about men in the comment section isn't a good woman, believe it or not. And so we're all having a human experience struggling to find love, right? That's what we fail to realize. We keep dehumanizing the opposite sex, but we're having a human experience trying to find love in a modern society where internet based connections are the primary way we connect with each other. And it's taken away our skill set to relate to one another as human beings. So I hope that helps. I'm going to jump into this. First of all, thank you for anybody who super chats. YouTube has a new button called Super Thanks, and it's basically like a tip button on your videos. I actually got like $100 from that last month, and I hadn't even realized because I just activated it. I didn't know anything about it. So thank you for anybody, because I don't think it shows me my super thanks. I have to go into my analytics so I can try to thank people personally, but I don't think I have the option to. If you've tipped any one of my videos with a super thanks, if you've ever sent a super chat, I really appreciate you. And to these two people that just super chatted, Sanja Teal and Crystal P, I appreciate you. So I'm gonna jump into these questions for these super chats. Thank you again. We welcome all super chats. Love them. LBN, man, people always hit me with the acronyms. Y'all know I ain't shit on an acronym. Your last video about being allowed to have a full range of emotions made me cry. Thank you for giving me a voice. Congratulations on your new home. Okay, so she's referring to today's video. Today's video was about one huge sign that a man loves you. And in that video, I outlined when a man really loves a woman, or he's starting to love a woman, or he's decided to love a woman, the first thing he gives her is acceptance. And it's not just like, oh, I like you, you like me. It's like, I accept you for the whole package, everything you are. You're not just beautiful. You're not just sexy. We're not just cooking. We're not just having fun. We're not just entertaining and laughing and flirting. I accept the other shit, the negative. I accept the stress. I accept the issues in your life. I accept how you deal with things. I accept your flaws. I accept the fragments of your personality and things you're working on. I accept you, and I accept all the energy that you might have to expel along with that. A lot of women are dating guys who don't allow them to speak, don't allow them to talk, don't allow them to bring up things that aren't fun, aren't convenient, aren't entertaining, or aren't sexy. A lot of the red pill guys are now training their subscribers. If it's not about sex, then shut a woman up. Don't listen to her, right? Make her earn your attention through her sexuality or through her fun. through her convenience. And a lot of times women think they're dating a guy because it's been weeks when they're really just entertaining a guy. And as soon as they try to get serious about any subject matter at all, he's like, I don't really do feelings. I don't really do emotions. Right. That's a red flag. But also, it's a green flag if a man's like, okay, this is new. This is cool. This is new territory. We're being vulnerable today. Okay, let's talk about this. Let's do this, because it takes some, it's heavy, and it brings some weight into the room. And sometimes people don't like to deal with that. So when you get a guy who gives you the free range of motion and the grace to be everything you are, not just fun, not just sexy, not just sexual, it's a strong possibility that that guy likes you more than his ego would even want him to at that point. But a lot of times a man just open to love is willing to accept you for every portion of your personality and your range of emotions, as long as it's within reason. Some people be acting crazy. We're not talking about that. So I appreciate you. Thank you for watching, and thank you for the super chat. Crystal Peace, said, I miss an ex-friend. I miss an ex-friend. We haven't spoken since 2021 because I arrived late to her birthday party and I didn't go to her planned trip to Philadelphia. She said to me, she doesn't need my friendship. Call her. I'll be honest, Crystal, you might be talking to the wrong person. I am the last person to reward that type of conditional friendship, right? Or a relationship in any capacity. I know people just assume, especially a lot of guys watch my channel, just assume I'm out here taking shit from women. I'm simping. Listen, I'm just at peace because I know what I'm gonna do. I know what I'm not gonna do. I protect me. I don't have relationships with people conditioned on me showing up to a party, showing up to this or that event, who don't give me the grace to be flawed myself, who don't give me the grace to be antisocial for a day, who don't give me the grace to be too busy to hang out for a time period. I had a group of friends in 2006 that I fell out with, 3 people back to back to back, and it was pretty much the same. Kind of the same thing. And while I love those people and I forgive those people, they don't owe me nothing. And I really miss them. I can't really allow myself to get put into a position to where I would depend on them again, because I see that the relationship, and they would say the same thing about me. They are hurt from me not being available. But anytime you're in a relationship that requires a social availability that for the time being, for the phase in your life, you just don't have, and a person doesn't look at you, know who you are, think about the years you've spent together, think about the human being you've been to them, and the friend and an ally you've been to them. Anytime they're just upset that you didn't get to hang out, or you're not coming through to social events, and they don't want to be friends anymore, they don't need your friendship anymore, just let them have that, because now you're going to be jumping through hoops. If you call her, you're going to be jumping through hoops trying to figure out how to not piss her off, how to not offend her. Something else will happen. I think that it's only been a little bit. It's 2001. You probably haven't made a lot of friends since, and you might be a little bit scarred like me. Like, I don't really make friends, man. I've not made a friend since '06. I made maybe a friend in '07, like right when that was happening. I made a friend. But hell, Jimmy is my last friend I made, like '06, '07. I ain't made a friend since. And maybe I'm the wrong person to ask about that, because I don't forget shit. And also I realize what type of friend I am. I'm not the type of friend that goes to parties as much. I'm not the type of friend that's in your business, or we're not going to be going to a bunch of trips. I'm not that guy. I'm the guy that you call at 3:30 in the morning when you're stuck somewhere and you're in a dangerous environment. I'm the type of guy you call when some people on your ass and you feel like you need some backup. I'm the type of friend you call in crisis. I'm the type of friend you call when you just want to talk about, life and reflect, or you need advice. I'm not the type of friend that's in your business trying to be fun and playful with you. That's not the type of friend I am. And so I needed to get friends who understood that and allowed me that space and that grace I needed to be a little bit antisocial, not necessarily to them, but to the social events that they might want me to go to, the clubbing and the drinking, and the things that I've never done that they were more interested in doing. And that's what I needed in '06. And they decided they needed a more social friend. So it's happened to me. It's happened to a lot of people, but no, hell no, I don't call her. Let her have that. Let her go find friends better suited for her. Don Caesar, thank you so much for the 1999 super chat. No question, just love. I appreciate you. Sherry Carter, thank you for the $9.99 super chat, and the hippo with the hat to the back. I appreciate it. Reminds me of me. I appreciate the super chats. I appreciate the super thanks. Like I said, I just discovered those, so I didn't know how to address the super chats or the super thanks individually. Somebody said a long time ago, just finished my workout, but ready to chime in. Nancy, I was about to jump into Nancy, love and respect. Thank you for the super chat. She says, "Hey, coach, thank you again for the amazing coaching. I am living proof that anyone can change. Yes, yes, you are. Anybody can be too." She said, "I have a question. I have a good male friend of 12 years. He recently asked me out. Should I proceed? What kind of friend was he? What kind of friend is he? What kind of friend has he been? Right? What type of energy does he give you? Does he give you is he attracted to you? Or does he love you, right? And after 12 years, you know if you're capable of loving someone, especially if you've been friends. Now, if you've been acquaintances and this is a new track in your friendship, that's different. But if you've been good friends with him, he's a good male friend and not just an acquaintance, then he knows whether or not he has the capacity to love you and the willingness and the intention to. So what I would want to know is why he wants to ask you out. I would just ask him, hey, listen, we've known each other for a long time. And before I decide that we're going in any particular direction, you know, what made you ask me out? Like, we've known each other for a very long time. This is the first time you've asked me out. What is your motivation? Like, what made you now of all times ask me out? Like, what are you hoping comes from this, or what in your mind is this? Doing? What are we doing? Just because we do have a friendship and we do need clarity and we do respect each other and we have a rapport, and I don't want to have our wires crossed because I'm thinking this means something else than you think it means. So let's just talk about this before we do it. And if he's a true friend, he's going to want that clarity too. So yeah, you might be able to proceed, but it depends on what type of friend he's been. Has he been supportive? Has he been loving? Has he been nurturing? Has he been protective? Has he been helpful? What has he done? Has he shown the qualities that you would hope to see in a man that you date? What has he offered you as a friend? How dependable has he been? And not that you always call on him, but it matters what type of friend he is, because if he's the type of friend that knows that you're a little bit stressed out and just keeps his distance, then maybe he's not the type of guy you want, depending on what your personal needs are. So it just depends. You look through your friendship and see when he's come through, when he's not come through, when he's known that you needed and either showed up or didn't. Like, those things matter because that is indicative of the type of man he's going to be. In general, when a man is willing to love, he's the same type of boyfriend or husband as he is to his very close friends, right? His loyalty, the humanity he offers people, the human being he is to people should be good around the board. But the people he loves, he should love in a similar way as far as how he presents himself, his friendship, his service, and his help to them. So if he's been a great friend, then you might have a long resume, a 12-year resume of 5 stars. If he's been a shitty friend, then maybe he's going to be a neglected boyfriend when times get tough, depending on how he's evolved in that 12 years. So you just have a lot of questions to ask yourself about what he's been to you. And you need to ask him specifically what motivated him to ask you out at this point. That's where I would start. And then text me what he says. We'll talk about it. Somebody said, what to do? Already, that's an old question. Let me get down. Oh, first of all, hey, hi, let's get into it. All the people who spoke, how y'all doing? I missed it. JC, what's up, JC? Love and respect. He said, I'm here. JC got the gear. Crystal P, thank you for the $5 super chat. She said, I keep losing friends. In 2020, a friend stopped talking to me because I told her, don't invite me places, then go without me and not tell me. This honestly upset her. Yeah, I feel like that's friendship can be fragile, and there are those who are going to harbor a lot more resentment towards you for the times you say no. Um, I think that, there's this quote that says, you can say yes 1,000 times, and I might be beating up the quote, but there's a quote similar to, you can say yes to a person 1,000 times, but they'll only remember the one time you said no. And that's pretty true of a lot of people. A lot of people are fair weather friends, are conditional friends. And I'm not assuming she was a good friend and you were a bad friend, or vice versa. I don't know what it was, but for people who don't accept, like, again, we're talking about the video today of when a person loves you, the full range of who you are, right? I have friends that I know I can't count on in a pinch, right? I give them that grace because that's not their compartment, right? I compartmentalize my friend. I learn not to expect everything from every friend. Every friend has a different spot for me, and I feel like that gives me the type of freedom to move along and not be subjected to the type of disappointment that sometimes we are when we count on the wrong people for the wrong things. And so if you keep losing friends, ask yourself what you're not doing to support. And I know women have a different system of friendship than men have, so I don't assume to know the dynamic of your female relationship with your friend. But I can tell you that in general, you need to meet friends who are in alignment with your purpose and with your gifts, right? How I show up in a friendship is in general as a support vessel, as a mentor, as a protector, as a savior in some ways, getting people out of pinches and shit. I don't show up as a friend needing advice and talking my problems out with people. That's just not how I function as a friend. I also don't show up to every single party being the most lively I don't you can't go get drunk or high with me. Like there are a lot of things I don't do. So don't ask me to do those things. I think y'all had an issue where maybe you felt some resentment toward her leaving you behind, and you felt some abandonment from her. And I'm imagining that other friends got to go on the trip that she invited you on, or got to go to the places that she invited you to, and then she took them instead, and so you felt a little bit slighted. That's what I would imagine. There's a deeper backstory than the initial argument, right? The resentment was built over a span of time. And so you can't really move forward in any of those relationships without getting a full understanding of where that resentment came from. But if a person doesn't have the nature to communicate their resentment as it builds, and only allows you to know that there's a problem once they're saying fuck you don't have a chance with that person, because they're too conflict avoidant to engage in the conflicts that matter to that maintain a friendship. So I hope that helps. But you just need the type of friends who aren't that needy, and maybe not that socially driven, and more spiritually and energetically driven. The one-on-one type of friends, not necessarily the group party hangout friends. You might be beyond that portion of your life. Um, Dima, love and respect. She says, "Hey, I think this guy on my Facebook is cute, and he's always watching my stories. Uh, but never says anything. Should I say something? If you think he's cute, yes. But don't like come on to him. Just make conversation, make neutral intellectual conversation." Excuse me. No, sorry about that. Yeah, just if you want to say something to him and you sees that he watches all your stories, and he's really kind of giving you internet attention without coming on to you, but you think he's cute, and you're attracted to him, it's okay to start an intellectual conversation. It's okay to go to his page like he goes to your page and comment on one of his pictures. Not like, oh, hey, cutie, or nice shirt, nice ab, nothing like that. Just like, hey, I noticed there's a beach in your background. What beach is that? Like, and start talking. Oh, okay, that's a really cool car. It looks like you're in an exotic place. Where you at? Like, you can just make conversation about something he posts online. Even if it's like his favorite bag of chips. You know, argue with them about it. You can have a conversation and come on to somebody and maintain face by not actually being flirty. Because if a man wants to engage with you, whatever engagement you give him, he's going to respond to whatever. It doesn't really matter. If he wants to talk to you, if he's been itching to talk to you, you could be like, man, I hate brooms. He'd be like, me too. Look, y'all typing about brooms and mops. Like, it could be something stupid. It's best for women to find a guy that they already find attractive and make conversations with them, because people are so picky now. And men, usually the men who are coming up to women, chasing women down, they're very good at what they do because they've been getting a lot of practice. And so at this point now, the guy approaching you is more likely to be a pickup artist and some kind of a womanizer. So yes, it's very valuable to, if you see a man and find him suitable, make conversation and give him an opportunity to come on to you under the circumstance that you create. So he's still coming on to you, making the first move, but you started the intellectual conversation. So it's always a plausible deniability that you were coming on to him, right? Can't prove it because you didn't flirt. He took it somewhere else. Thank you for the 10-euro super chat. Faith, she says, hi, I have a guy that likes me, but I friend zoned him because there's stuff I don't like about him. I like his attention. He's nice. Cut our friendship completely or maintain it even though he wants more. That's interesting. And no, nothing against you, Faith, and I appreciate your question and your super chat. It's interesting. and this I won't go very long on this. Women generally don't like stuff about every man they meet, but the ones that they friend zone, they generally build walls around men that they don't like romantically, and they build bridges around men that they like romantically. So a flawed, shitty man, and he might not be shitty, but if you decide to like him, he could have some shitty stuff going on with him, and don't stop you at all. Not you specifically, just women in general. But if the guy's like nice and they like his attention, but he's not necessarily a challenge, or for whatever reason they're just not into him, then the one thing they don't like is like, oh, everything's a deal breaker. No matter what he does is a deal breaker. That's just an interesting observation I've noticed in talking to over 5,000 women. Um, Even so, you have the right to not like him. That was not your point, and that was not pertaining to you. That was just an observation of a situation that commonly occurs. Anyway, she says you like his attention. Yep, but you can't use him for attention. You know that. I know that. He's nice, good, and if you want him to stay nice and be nice to a woman who actually wants him, you do not want to exhaust his attention in, with no intention to love him, because he'll feel used when he's running the playbook back. He'll be like, damn, Faith used me for attention. Susan used me for attention. Bree used me for it. He'll go through all the times he got friend zoned, but those women accepted the dates, accepted the attention, accepted the nice gestures, and he'll be damaged over it. And he'll be in a red pill room talking about how bees ain't shit, and all of these women need to get, So you don't want to create a monster and disregarding this man's self respect. Cut our friendship completely or maintain it even though he wants more. I think it's valuable to have a conversation with him about how you value, the nice portions of who he is, but you don't want to misuse and take advantage of the friend he's been and the friend he will be, because he wants more. And so it's best for both of you if you just kind of don't speak anymore, and you move in two separate directions. Don't just cut him off. Don't do that without explanation, because he's a little bit fragile. And if you are friends, or for whatever reason, you've acted as if you really wanted to be friends, because women friend zone you. Sometimes they don't want to talk to your ass ever again in life, and then other times they're like legitimate friends with you. So if you have a legitimate friendship built with this guy that you friend zone, like literally, then you want to explain to him why it's probably best that you damn hold on uh you want to explain to him why he's not going to be seeing as much of you, because you can't use him for his attention. You can't use him for his favor. Like it's not a good thing. You're gonna create a monster, and you're gonna hurt him, because every time he does something for you, he's gonna that's his expression of love. Men's love through their service, through their support, through their nurturing, through their assistance. So he's going to be trying to give you those things, and while you might need them at any given time, that's him trying to love you. Men don't love with flowers. Men don't love with cards. That's what women decide that men should love with. Men love with their service and their self-sacrifice, and he will continue to sacrifice himself because he wants proximity. And as long as you give him that, you can use him. Do not do that. You'll create a monster. So you got to cut it completely. But if you've actually been a friend, if you had friendly conversations and you told him you want to be friends, you're going to have to renege on that and explain to him that is not healthy, because he wants more and you don't want to exploit his feelings for you. And you can, in good conscience, allow him to be a friend, because every friendly act is a portion of him loving you. And it's not good for him or you. And you want him to be free enough and separate enough from you and your energy to find someone else who will love him like he needs to be loved. So that's what you do if he's a friend. If he's not that close to you and you just friend zoned him, meaning I don't like to date him, so I just talk to him every now and then, just back away slowly and be more unavailable. So yeah, that's the answer to your question. Hope that helps. Um, I need to. Oh, bad. My comment section was like froze for a minute. I couldn't see nothing. Um, Jacqueline, so much. Thank you. Thank you so much for the 4.99 super chat. She says, if a woman has a strong intuition that a man is lying but no proof, do you suggest the woman try to get proof first before she walks away? I do. And I do for this reason. Not because obviously you can't be, you got to prove it. You can't just have feelings. Not because I don't trust intuition. I always trust intuition. Um, Hell, I've had, every time somebody's been doing something wrong to me, I had a dream and I woke up, and when I looked at them or I touched them, I could feel it. Like that was in alignment with the energy that I had in the dream. Like If somebody cheats on me, it literally comes to me in a dream, and every time it's happened, no matter what, it's always happened. I always have like the strongest visions and intuition about people being loyal or disloyal to me. Almost like a damn fortune teller. It's weird. Even so, yes, strong intuition is enough for you to obviously open your eyes. But the problem I find with my clients is that the ones that move on strong intuition then torture themselves for months and months at a time, maybe even sometimes years at a time, because they feel like, damn, I love that guy. He was a guy I wanted. He just wasn't right, but I couldn't prove it. They doubt themselves when they're lonely, when they're sitting around and they haven't been able to find someone else. They don't say, I got rid of a bad man. I'm better off here than there. They say, but I never proved it. What if he wasn't? And that tortures them. Years a woman be double guessing, I mean, second guessing herself about something. That turmoil is too heavy a burden to bear for me. So I personally like to just know. I like to get the proof I need. And if it's there, there's always proof. There's always a way to get the information. Do I suggest you become Inspector Gadget or Detective whoever the hell and start? No, don't drive yourself crazy about it. But if you can't trust your partner and they're draining you in other ways, and your focus in the relationship is now the lack of trust and not the growth of the relationship, if for whatever reason their conduct is leading to that insecurity, then that's how they affect you, right? So sometimes it's not even about whether or not they did thus and so and you can prove it, but how they affect you. And if they affect you in a way that pulls your energy down and stops your progression because it takes your focus away, you can't grow next to them, on the side of them, and it changes the trajectory of your experience, then they're not good for you for energetic reasons, but also they could be probably doing something. But I personally like to know, and without becoming an inspector, I still like to know. So if your intuition is telling you something's wrong, something's probably definitely wrong. But if you're the type of person who needs proof, or you're going to torture yourself with this decision, then get the proof. Much rather be crazy for 4 days digging and get proof than to torture myself for 3 years because I don't know if I made the right decision. So for me, it's about mental health. And how long are you going to be screwed up not knowing if you made the right decision? That's the portion that I'm referring to. I would trust my intuition. My intuition has been ironclad. But also for people who don't have that trust and can't find peace and closure, as we always hear about closure, you need to know if you're the type of person who can't move forward without closure. So there's no real right or wrong. What's best for your mental health? If leaving this person is best for your mental health right now, then just go. Leave. If you don't need the proof, that's fine, leave. But if you know you need the proof and you got to sit with yourself and ask yourself this, if you know who you are and you need the proof, or you're going to be tortured for the next 2 years wondering if you really made the right decision, just get the damn information. That's it. Just get the information. If you got to be crazy for 2 days, be crazy. But again, if you got to do that, you probably should leave anyway. So yes and no. Yes and no. That's as close as I get to it. Because sometimes we are tripping, and sometimes our mind play tricks on us, and sometimes our insecurities feel like our intuition. So your mental health needs to be in alignment. That's all I care about is your mental health, and I don't know which one of them is telling you something's wrong. Um, so yeah, that's a yes and no. I'm sure that didn't help, but love. Um, Somebody says, how can I find my husband? I don't know how you can find your husband personally, because I don't know who you are, where you are, what your personality is, but I know that women are talking about finding husbands and they're not even getting boyfriends. And you got to be a girlfriend to be a wife eventually. And as much as people say, "Oh, God doesn't respect anything but marriage," yeah, well, human beings do. Human beings make you a girlfriend before they make you a wife. And every time I've met a religious woman who is dating some man, dating him religiously, dating him in Christ or whatever, and she dated him for 5 or 6 months, and things went all kind of fornicative, and they supposed to be dating each other for marriage, skipping all the steps. They don't end up getting married. They just end up exhausting that situationship like everybody else. So I've not met one person who went from nothing to wife. That's just not. I've coached 5,000 women, and I've heard maybe a few hundred of them say that was what they was doing, but thus far there's zero for a few hundred. So be a girlfriend. And I know that wasn't your question, but get a man who believes in a relationship. Start there. Believes in titles and relationships. Uh, Somebody says sometimes ex friends need to be left in the past. Absolutely, yeah. I really, really, really love my ex friends, and I really, really, really miss them. And I don't have a problem with them. When people fall out, they like if they people say we fell out, I say they fell out. Like literally, I don't have like I ain't fall out with no damn body. I'm steadfast. I'm like a tree. Where you left me is where I be. I ain't got no animosity or energy toward anybody's beef or anybody's disenchantment with me. So when a person walks off and storms off, that's what's up. If they come back, hey, what's up? If not, that's what's up. Now, do I change how much I trust you, how much information I give you, how I think of you? Absolutely. But I'm not engaging in like a back and forth, and I'm really not holding on to any energy. I just become more and more indifferent to the relationship, and that's kind of where I go. But I love my friends from the past, and I got very very close relationships with a couple of them, and I wish to God that our misunderstandings didn't happen like they did, but they did. I can't forget them. I can't unhear the words. I can't unsee the sights, and I'm sure on my part they can't do the same, right? So it's just one of those things where we kind of looking through the glass at each other, wishing things were different. Um, Somebody says that video is great. Thank you, Diana. She was probably referring to today's video. I'm trying to do a lot of content this week, y'all. This month. If y'all, I don't give a damn if y'all not even watching relationship content. Go to my doggone channel. If you ain't got nothing going on, if you got extra devices, some of y'all got 2 or 3 iPads in your house. Go to my channel and just hit the all my videos, binge watch them, and turn it on mute and fall asleep or something. Like, just give me some views this month. I need to get this channel rolling, man. I'm trying to do a lot of views. I'm trying to do a lot of videos this month. I wanted to do 30. It'd be the most I've ever done. I might not probably get that off, but if I get to 20, that's a very good number too. I haven't hit 20 very often, so I'm just trying to give y'all a lot of content and kind of dump since I haven't been able to give content a lot this last year because I was in a weird space, with my move and stuff. Somebody says. Um, Um, should a woman be offended if a man suggests occupations for you? No. It's the same thing as if you take a personality quiz and it suggests occupations for you based on your gifts and your natural abilities to gravitate toward one type of intelligence or another. I think of a man that just suggests an occupation for you. He might see, a gift in you or talent or an ability in you that could be exploited for financial gain. From you, I think if he's suggesting you're broke and you should do this because I'm not taking you on that date. If it has something to do, if it's a rebuttal to why you don't take me out somewhere nice or why you don't treat me better or why this or that, and he's like, girl, you should probably try to go be a nurse or something. Like if it's a condescending comment or some kind of backhanded trait comment, then that's a different thing. But a lot of times people will just see something in you, and if you don't see it in yourself, they say, hey, maybe you ever think about doing this? I remember my cousin still used to steal cars. Maybe this is not the same, but I told y'all my family a little rough. My cousin used to steal cars, uh, and my brother too. But my cousin was really into it. My brother just kind of with my cousin, but he's in it. If he's in it, he's on it. He owns it. So he was doing his thing. But anyway, when they was teenagers, my brother and my cousin used to ride around and get people's cars in the morning and New Jersey drive style. The point is, I'm telling too much business. Um, my cousin has lived a very interesting lifestyle, and he's never really left the streets. And he's a very good driver, but he's never had his license. But he does tricks and stunts with cars. Like if I see random donuts in the middle of the hood, I'm like, I wonder if so and so was here. I mean, my cousin. I always think that my cousin, if I see somebody was doing some trick driving around, I always, if I see the tire tracks, I'd be like, I bet he was over here, because that's how he drives. But he also is very, very good behind the wheel. Like, he's an amazing, excellent driver. Never had a license because he had a couple high speed chases and stuff. But the best driver I know has never had a license, and so I would suggest to him, you should be a stunt driver. You could get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to do exactly what you're doing, but legally. Never thought of it. Never in his life thought of it. And so I've always been the type of person to suggest stuff to people. If I see a gift in somebody that they might not recognize, they can make use of and maybe get out of their situation, or just live a happier day-to-day life, operating in their gift and in their natural born ability, I'm going to suggest it. So I can't say that you should be offended at somebody suggesting a profession or an occupation for you. That was a long answer to a very simple question. I told all the business. Um, but I love my cousin, I love my brother. My brother is an upstanding society. My brother's an upstanding citizen of America now. So we're not talking about my brother. My brother's solid, great man, amazing man. Raised me, did a damn good job importing his knowledge into me. And my mom gave me the love, and my brother gave me a lot of game and a lot of wisdom. So anyway, um, how do you, oh, I'm sorry. I got a $5 super chat. My bad, Sandra. Hell, forget a husband. How can a chick just get a dang date? Oh, that's easy. You gotta talk to more people. Talk to more people, laugh with more people, invite your energy to be like interrupted. A lot of people don't want to, especially like people who don't want to impose. A lot of people don't have the courage to come up to you and say, "Hey, I'd like a date." A lot of people don't want to intrude. A lot of people don't want to put themselves out there for rejection. There's a lot of reasons why people don't ask women out anymore. First of all, just if I'm being honest, as a guy, we don't know what the hell is appropriate or not appropriate anymore. It used to be appropriate if you seen a fine woman, no matter where you seen her. If you seen a woman that was fine to you, no matter where you seen her, you could just be like, "Hey, what's up with you? How you doing? Yeah, you blue pants." Now it's like, okay, don't cat call. Okay, cool. So what is a cat call? If you're more than 5 or 10 feet away from a woman, does it make it an approach if you come up to her? Oh, okay. You're not allowed to approach a woman in public. All right, cool, cool. So do you approach her in private? No, that's creepy. Can't do that. Well, let's go to the gym. Well, they can't talk to women at the gym. They're not there for that. They're there to work out. Well, let's go to the club. Well, you can't talk to women at the club because they're dancing and they're interrupting their girl time. And if they wanted to talk to you, then they would call you over. Like, there's so many different scenarios that have been taken away from men to feel like they're non-threatening, to just not creep out the wrong woman on the wrong day at the wrong time, trying to come up to her and say, "Hey, listen, I think that you're beautiful. I'm very curious about you. I'd like to talk to you, get to know you, have a conversation, have a coffee. Can we sit down?" You can't even say that no more. Maybe if you said that, more women would say yes. I was pretty good with my mouth, so I could pretty much convince people to do a number of things. But most men don't have this thing or that thing or the gift of gab. The average guy doesn't know what he wants to say and doesn't feel comfortable saying it. So when you're saying, "Can I get a date?" I'm sure you can get a date, but too many things have to go right for you to be properly asked out by the right guy that you find attractive and are interested in, that you'll have chemistry with. Like, so many variables have to be in alignment for the right guy who you would be attracted to approach you. When you see men that you find handsome, just go be friendly to them. Don't flirt. Don't kiss their ass. Don't ask for their number. Don't compliment them. Tell them they cute. Just go be friendly. Because when a man's looking at you and he's like, "Yo, this friendly girl is nice looking. Like, yo, what's up with you? First of all, thank you. Yeah, the weather's nice, but what's your name?" Like, he's going to give you the curiosity, and he's going to take it. He will take control of that interaction. If a beautiful woman comes up to me when I was single, if a beautiful woman comes up to me and starts talking to me, yeah, yeah, all those questions you asked, yeah, it's 3:47. If you ask for the time, it's 3:47. But hold on now. Now you come up to me. What's your name? Like, we gonna talk about this. We gonna have some. You can't just be fine and be around me. But as time goes on, a man becomes more crafty. Some men are not that good with their words, and so they're very nervous when they talk to a woman. They don't know what to say. They know that no matter what they say, they can be looked at as a creep if she's not attracted to them. And a lot of women talk about sexual harassment and these things of that thing. Women define sexual harassment, sexual misconduct based solely upon many times how attracted they are and to the guy that did it and how much they hoped he did it before he did it. If a guy does something really overtly flirty or overtly even sexual, in his gestures or in his words that you find creepy, you find it creepy because it's a person that you don't like. But if a man that you want, the man that makes you hot, does something creepy, you're like, girl, you know what he did? That's why so many men are sending these D pics out right now. Men are sending D pics because they've learned that the women who are attracted to them aren't creeped out by them. They might be like, really? It might catch them off guard, but they don't take it as some kind of sexual attack. When I think it should be a misdemeanor at least. I think that it's indecent exposure. It's no different from, and I got a video coming out. It's no different from a guy being in the butt naked in a trench coat, flashing people in the Central Park. It's the same thing. But if a woman's attracted to a man, she's more likely to take that and be like, If she's not attracted to a man, she's like, oh my God, block his number and she gonna give him the proper distance. So I've gone long on this, but get a date. To get a date, that's what you do. You look for the man that you find attractive, and then you go be nice to him. He may or may not find you attractive. So if he doesn't give you any extra once you come up and you're just nice in a neutral, intellectual way, he's not stretching the interaction, he's not trying to turn into the conversation into something deeper, then that's not, you missed your shot. You shot your shot and you missed it, but you have a plausible deniability because you did not flirt. All you did was converse. And you do that until you find a man that you're attracted to who also stretches the interaction. That's how you get a date, to answer your question. Blog of Deface Killer. Deface Killer. Vlog of Deface Killer. That's different. The blog of Deface Killer. I got it. I'm with you. I ain't no hate. Appreciate you. Love and respect. First of all, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate y'all. I really do appreciate y'all. I got a new house. I be needing to pay bills. Y'all, look, send them super chat. But I'm answering free questions too. It's love. How do you subscribe to get private counseling offline? Are you talking about me? Here, I'll type it in the comment section if it. I don't know if my comment section I did, but I just put it in the comment section. girltalkwithguys.com. The link is in most of my videos description box. girltalkwithguys.com if you want to get one-on-one coaching with me. I do half-hour calls, hour-long calls, half-hour video, hour-long video. I have a 3-month program that consists of 6 calls and unlimited text messages for the whole 3-month period. So I'm basically in your back pocket indefinitely or unlimited for 3 months. So you can get as much or as little coaching as you want from me, but you got to go to girltalkwithguys.com. You can even get email advice. I have 3 emails out that I have to respond to tonight too. Let me see. Somebody said I'm gonna try to get to I'm gonna go to the bottom because I got so many comments. I'm gonna go to the bottom so the people who watching right now can feel like they watching the current conversation. Somebody said, Natalie, love and respect. Thank you so much for being a channel member. Y'all know I got 100 channel members. I didn't even realize I had channel members. I think I got 100. No, I got 39. I had $100. Don't matter. I'm with it. I appreciate y'all channel members. She says online is difficult. Men always send one-liners asking how's your day was for weeks on end. Men always send one-liners asking how your day was for weeks on end. That's exactly why I put that video up. If you missed that video this week, if you just look at one of the last 6 videos I've done, 2 videos ago, I think, I did a video talking about what to say when a man asks for your number, and we talked about how I gave a script that you could pretty much reproduce to get a man to not text you. The problem with you, the problem that you're facing as a man, poking at you and not talking to you, not getting to know you, not really making any progress. That's because you are accepting text messages. You should only be text messaging men you have already gotten to know and already mutually chosen a direction of flow with. Don't text men that you don't know. It's a waste of time. You're just flirting. You're just poking each other. Like the poke button on Facebook is useless. Texting is useless. If you want to get to know a man, tell him from the minute that you give your number to him, listen, you can have my number on one condition. What's that? Don't text me. I do not reply to texts from strangers. If you want to get to know me, if you think I'm attractive and you sitting in front of me asking for my number, I get it. You're a handsome guy. You seem like a nice person, but don't waste your time texting me. If you don't want to talk to me, then don't take my number because I don't do text messages with people I don't know. The only time I'm text messaging anybody is to say I'm at the restaurant or I'm here or there. But if it's not communicating something specific, I don't want to waste my time trying to imagine what you mean when you say certain things. And like when we text people, we don't get any of the nonverbal communication cues. So it's just a waste of time. Stop returning text messages from people and tell every man from this point forward that you give your number to that you don't return text messages and cut your text messages back down to just your girlfriends and the guys that already have determined that they are looking to date you seriously and you already got history with. Do not text with new men. Talk exclusively. If a man will not pick up the phone and call you, he has no intention on getting to know you, period. Like he's zero intention on getting to know you. I don't know one guy looking for love saying, I don't want to talk to no woman on the phone. That's not a thing. And all of you, I say this every live, bro. All of you, social anxiety, y'all kiss my ass with all that social anxiety garbage because all of y'all talking about social anxiety, having sex with random people, having sex with strangers, having sex with men that you had too much social anxiety to talk to on the phone with for 3 months, but you're having sex. If you ain't got sex anxiety, damn it, you ain't got no social anxiety. Okay. And social anxiety is going to do you a lot more damage than just talking to people on the phone and getting those conversations out the way. If you're in a relationship, you got to learn how to talk to people anyway. So you can't have social anxiety forever. You might as well get that out the way first. Um, Love and respect, Evelyn L. or Evelyn L. Thank you so much for being a super chat or for being a channel member. I appreciate you. I'm still looking for. I want to create an email list. That's what I'll do. If you are a channel member, if you are currently a channel member, I want to put you on the email list. So email me at kevhicktalksguyswithgirls@gmail.com. Like my old channel name used to be, Kev Hick Talks Guys with Girls at gmail.com. If you are a channel member, email that Kev Hick Talks Guys with Girls at gmail.com and put the subject line channel member. I can cross-reference it with YouTube because YouTube does show me who the channel members are, so don't lie. But for those channel members, I want to get you in an email group so that I can start to communicate with y'all because I want to do stuff for my channel members. I want to do bonus videos, but it look like channel members be missing it. Like YouTube doesn't show you. YouTube don't be giving people notifications. It's rough out here. So it's hard to go live for channel members if they don't get the notification and 2 people show up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's no energy in the room and it's just me talking to two icons. So I need more people in the room. I need all of my channel members to be there, at least half of them. So let's start an email. Kev Hick Talks Guys with Girls at gmail.com, my original channel name before I changed it to Kev Hick. That's the Gmail. If you write me, put subject matter, channel member, I at least have your email address and we can start a dialogue so that when I put you in the email group, I can make sure that I'm going live with my channel members and rewarding people for giving me that $3.99, that $2.99, that $5.99, or whatever they're giving me. Because I really appreciate it and you don't have to do it, but you're doing it. So I want to give back, but I'm just trying to figure out how to. YouTube doesn't make it that easy. Gina, love and respect. She says, thank you for doing this. Thank you for your super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm a single dad this week. My wife is out of town, so she's not upstairs. She usually do my moderating. She's not upstairs either. So I got JC in the comment section. He making sure them haters off me. Now, JC, if they hate on you, you get leave them in here. But if they hate on me, you gotta kick them out if they hate on me, because you be war ready. Let me see. Somebody said I'd rather online date to vet their ability to stimulate my mind, because if we meet in person and I find out he isn't good with words, I'm turned off. That's fine. That's completely fine. Do what you need to do, but you will find out if he's not good with words if you just talk to him on the phone. You don't even have to get to the date. Somebody says you send a DP, you blocked, no contact. Haley Clark, I appreciate that honesty from you, but if most women are being honest, that are receiving those on a regular basis, those who haven't become desensitized to that level of sexual aggression, uh, and to be honest, and this I make this point in the video that I'll be releasing at some point, but not on my regular YouTube channel because I don't want to get demonetized. But um, nobody knows a rapist, right? We all know a woman who's been assaulted, all right, taken, or in some way misused in a sexual way. But nobody like, yeah, I know some rapists. I know 4 or 5 rapists. But it's interesting that we would all. No one knows. No man seems to know a rapist, but we all know a woman who's been, abused. But then we know thousands on thousands of men who are sending inappropriate pics to women who are not even talking about anything sexual at all. I would imagine, since consent, or at least a warning of sexual aggression and overt sexual power dynamic invitations aren't a concern for these DPIC senders, that if we just quarantine our search for the rapists among the DPIC senders, we might find that the guys who are more likely to rape are probably the ones, or at least amongst the ones, sending unsolicited DPICs to people. Right. So for those of us who don't know a rapist, we might want to start there. And for those women of you who are very cavalier about a man just sending you one of those, you have to ask yourself, what makes a man can think, she could have been assaulted before, but I don't give a damn. I don't care if this triggers her, if it makes her feel like she's lost control or a say so in her own sexuality. I don't care if this makes her nervous or feels threatening. I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna send her this picture. She don't like it. You know what kind of aggression and what kind of like you got to be missing something. I'm convinced that the men who are sending these pictures, the men we're looking for to say he did it, he did it, he did it, he was in the back alley, he pushed her down, he held her down. They're all the dick pic senders, and at least not all of them. They're in that group, so that's where we're gonna go. And if you're a dick pic sender and you're in this comment section or you're watching this video out of the 315 people that are watching, like really sit with yourself up, because you really among some Sasquatches, man, some barbarians, man. Anyway, I'm off topic, whatever the topic was. Oh, anyway, somebody said if you send a D pic, you get blocked, no contact. I wish everybody was doing that, Haley, but they're not. You know what I'm hearing from my clients, that my first time clients, when I talk to women for the first time and they're getting these and they're desperate and they're lonely and they're afraid of being, uh, you know, aging and all of these different things that we put on our anxiety plate. Women look at the D pic if they're busy. If they're not particularly emotionally vulnerable at that point, they're like, "Oh my God, that's gross." Whatever, asshole blocked. If he sends that picture on the right day, where she hasn't been validated, where she's a little bit lonely, where she's wishing she had a date, where she might be a little bit horny, she opens the D pic back up and look at it a little bit. Well, I'll take it. Pretty soon, she's like, "Ew, what made you send that?" That's all it takes. Now you're having a conversation. He's just rehumanized himself after he's done something barbaric, like sexually aggressive dick pics. So most women aren't doing the block thing, unfortunately enough, when they are vulnerable or lonely. They're actually revisiting that. It's always a delay reaction. Most women ignore it. 2 or 3 days later, 2 weeks later, when their phone lines dry up, they revisit. And a lot of women are doing that, whether or not they want to, admit it in this conversation. And that's why men are doing it, because they know 2 weeks later they might get "Oh my God, I just seen this. I can't believe you sent it." You know you sent it that. You know you seen it that night. He knows you seen it that night. But he's cool. Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to do that. I was just feeling a little weird. I'm sorry. I know that's rude. It's okay. Now you're back in it. Y'all need to stop that. Those guys are predatory, man. If you don't know a sexual predator, look at your DPIC folder, and you're probably looking at 3 or 5 of them. Anyway, look, 10 people done dropped off since the DPIC conversation started. I guess I can't talk about that. And probably was guys, probably with DPIC centers. Kev said them unsolicited. Yep, yeah, send them to jail, man. That's got to be indecent exposure at the very least. KA, love and respect. She says, I'm a teacher dating another teacher. We've been dating for 2 months now, and he hasn't taken me out on a proper date. Is this guy wasting your time? He's either wasting your time or he doesn't believe in taking women on a proper date. And while people think, oh, maybe he's just, no, it's strategic. You know if you're taking a woman out or not, you know. And most of the dating coaches for guys now are telling men don't spend $1 on a woman, don't take them out, don't do this or don't do that. I'd be curious to know what you're doing if you've been dating for 2 months. If he hasn't taken you on a proper date, that means you've hung out in cars, you've sat in parking lots after work, you've probably visited each other's houses if he's convinced you to do that. Maybe you've gotten drinks, but you haven't been on a proper date because he doesn't want you on a proper date. He's trying to figure out how to get as much access to you with as least effort as possible. Even if he plans on a relationship, everybody's relationship like everybody's not presenting a full-fledged healthy effort type of relationship. Some people want a relationship, but they set the bar for themselves pretty low so that the maintenance is pretty easy on a relationship. So I don't know exactly what he wants, and I'm not trying to vilify the brother, but I'm sure he's a nice guy. He's a teacher, so he's got to have some kind of principle that he's establishing in his life and living by. But I feel like to a degree, he knows that hasn't taken you on a proper date, and as long as you're okay with him not taking you on a proper date, then you won't be getting proper dates. I don't know if you can change his mind at this point because a precedent has already been set. If you're dating a man and it's been 2 months and he won't take you on a proper date, I'm hoping you're not exclusive with him, because if you're exclusive with this gentleman, then he has no incentive for treating you any better than he did. Oh, pretty girl, you in the comment section? My wife just texted me a question. She said, "So yes, I don't think I think he's wasting your time. If you just asking me, my intuition says another guy probably wasting time, or he's inexperienced and lazy, and so you might just be getting with the laziest, most boring, most predictable guy in the world. I don't know how else he treats you, and I don't know what your dates or what your improper dates consist of. So I would need more information, but I want to vilify the brother. I'm sure he's a decent enough individual, but this is not the proper way to set up a relationship." Anyway, my wife sent me, she said, Natalie, Natalie, I missed your question. So thank you, pretty girl. She says, good evening. I see that you only have okay, here we go. Good evening. I see that you only have 12 open for a call. Will you have more availables posted? I'm looking to go on the website Wednesday to book. Yes. So I only have 12. I only have like limited calls this week because my wife is in Texas. She's on a family vacation. I'm here with my sons. One has COVID. The other one is autistic and doesn't give a damn about COVID. So I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off, trying to make sure that the 5-year-old doesn't interact with the 8-year-old. And so I didn't have time to book a lot of calls this week. So while I usually have about 10 call spaces a week, I do not overload myself with calls. But while I normally have about 10 call spots a week, this week I didn't have very many at all open, just because I knew I would be a single dad. And at the very, very last minute, my son got COVID and he was going to be on a trip. It was just going to be me and my one son, and I was going to have some calls open. But now I got 2 boys and I'm doing everything for both boys. So I will have some time open. So Natalie, if you go on my website Wednesday, you might see more calls. No, because my wife doesn't get back to Wednesday. She's the one that does a call schedule. She programs all the calls and handles all the calendars. So my wife gets back Wednesday. So if you go back on there Wednesday, you might not see a lot of calls available. But if you go Thursday, my schedule will open back up and you'll see what I have on the call schedule. So if you want, double check back Thursday, because that's when we're opening everything back up. But there will be more calls, and generally there are a lot more calls on there. So sorry about that. Let me see. And thank you, pretty girl. I appreciate that. Somebody said, I hope your son feels better and gets well soon. Yeah, he had a temperature of like 102 for about 3 hours, and then it dropped, and it came back the next day and it dropped. So he's fine now. He's no temperature. He's been playing, laughing, having a good time, just kind of staying quarantined in my bed. Now I'm out of my damn bed because he's in the bed because my room is cooler than his room. He likes mine, so he's quarantining in my room while I'm in my sitting room on the couch. So he's having a good time. Um, Somebody says, before we hang out, I tell the guy what flowers I love, my favorite food, and ask what kind of date they will take me on to impress me. That's a decent enough flirty conversation. I don't know. I think if it's just playful, it's cool. But if you're too rigid with the guy starting out, if he thinks that you're serious, and you are serious, but you're suggesting you're not like like exclaiming or forcing. I feel like a man can respect that. I always ask though. See, when I was dating, I would ask. I would get a piece of notebook paper. Um, a lot of times, sometimes I didn't, but a lot of times I get a piece of notebook paper and I would ask questions and then I would write the answers down. And so if I did want to, you know, surprise a person or do something thoughtful, I could. I'm not thoughtful. That is not my gift. I'm boring and predictable. That is what I am. So I needed the notebook. Like it wasn't like me trying to be extra special. I needed the notebook, but I did attempt to try to make sure I showed that I got those notes down right. I did something to illustrate. I heard one or two of those preferences in time. Lisa Bradford, no questions, just love, just super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. But yeah, so I'm hoping that that guy is maybe taking notes too. Maybe you can even throw a take notes joke in there. But again, don't make it about an ego. If you make it about your ego, then I mean it's gonna be like thrown off. But if you just make it fun and playful, and you're cute about it, and that's your nature. Everybody can't be cute and demanding, but some people can do it very well. I have a coworker, 50 years old. She's the cutest thing ever, and it gets her. She gets away with everything because she's cute, and she's 50, and she thinks we all think she's 30 something. We know how she is. Anyway, Crystal P. She says, question in chat, FYI. Oh, okay, so Lisa Bradford's question is in the chat, or Crystal P's question is in the chat. Pretty girl, since you're watching, can you give me that question? Because I don't know where the question is. I don't know if she's talking about Lisa's question. Okay, I see that. So Lisa Bradford, Lisa, I'm looking for your question. I'm assuming Crystal P is referring to Lisa's question. I wish it was like a search bar on here. I could just put somebody's name in and it would go to all their comments. That would be dope. If anybody from YouTube is listening, probably try that. I don't see the question, but if I miss the question and we don't end up getting to it tonight, I'll do a video answering your question. Yeah, I don't see it, but somebody send it to me, or pretty girl, if you see it, can you give it to me? But I don't see the question. Thanks, Jay. After a year, yep, Lisa Bradford somewhere. She talking to Jay. Lisa, can you just re-ask your question? Okay. Okay, Lisa says, I really didn't have a question. Just wanted to show some appreciation. Okay, so Lisa, thank you again. So Crystal P must be referring to her question in the chat. So Crystal P has a question in the chat. I'm going to look for it. We did this last time, didn't we? Last time I answered your question, I think it might have been you, Crystal. I thought I answered your question, but you might have missed it. And then I went back through the chat and I saw that it was a question I might have answered, but maybe my intro to the answer was missed, so you didn't realize I was answering your question. Hold on. But maybe that was somebody else. It was a Crystal. I don't want to accuse you. And it was love anyway, so it's all good. So I missed the question, pretty girl. If you see the question, please send it to me. I'm gonna answer something else until that comes up. Something casual means friends with benefits in many instances. I guess Silver Screen's referring to somebody else, but something casual means friends with benefits in many instances. The problem is friends with benefits isn't really friends. Most of the time, it's two people who barely know each other who's just decided to be nice enough to screw and get along until they can jump in bed. So that's not necessarily friends with benefits. That's just hookup partners. People call it friends with benefits because it sounds a lot less unconventional and a lot more respectable, but it's not really friends with benefits. You're just maintaining each other. Um, Somebody says, Lika says, my boyfriend keeps rubbing it in my face that he gets me stuff, gets me stuff, or takes me out when we fight. I would reply to that, but I don't know what he's saying that as a rebuttal to. I don't know what you say when y'all fight. You did use the word fight, which means it's two way, and so I would wonder. I would need to know exactly what you're offering that exchange, because it would sound like you don't ever do anything for me. I take you out. I buy you stuff. So it might sound like he doesn't feel like he gets credit for the things he does, and unfortunately enough, a lot of women do this. They complain about things that a man sees himself doing, but maybe he's not doing enough of. So a woman says he never does them. And then when she starts saying he never does them to win arguments and exchanges, he stops doing them because he realizes no matter how much he can be proud of himself, if she doesn't recognize it or acknowledge it, it never counts anyway. So if a man gets you flowers once a month or twice a year, and then you complain about him never gets you flowers, but he's been patting himself on the back for getting you flowers, instead of saying, hey, this is an opportunity to do this more, or I really like when you do this and so, and to kind of remind him, to just yell at him and say, you don't never. Sometimes that means, well, I guess I didn't get credit for the last thing I did. So what the hell's the point? If I'm not going to get my credit, then hell with it. And guys kind of want their credit, especially if it's something that they've challenged themselves to do. Not that he's doing great. I just, you said y'all fighting, and y'all probably fighting about who does what. And that's just a terrible fight because it's not necessarily solution based. And if you're not having solution based arguments, then those arguments never go away. You just have them another day. Keep having the same arguments over and over again, which is okay if you accept that and you're cool with that. But if that's the type of shit that makes you want to separate or divorce or break up, then you probably should be making resolutions. I think we all should be, but especially you. So I don't know what to say about his comment, because I don't know if he's right or wrong. Um, Somebody said, I'm done giving men super obvious feedback or criticism. Yeah, I get it. Common sense ain't that common though, and a man's ability and a woman's ability to guess or instinctively do and say the right thing has so much more to do with their experiences with other people than it does how smart they are, their common sense. You're trained on how to show up in relationships based on who you've dated before, the things you've encountered before, what's worked and what hasn't worked. Pickup artists are shitty to women. You know why? Because as soon as they start doing that, they get 5 times the women, 10 times the women. So they learn to be shitty to women. So learn behavior at that point. They learn what works and what doesn't work. Being nice, showing up with flowers, taking her on 3 dates, listening to her problems. I'm too nice. It's not you, it's me. They get all them kind of conversations. And then they say, you know what? F this. If I'm going to be the Joker today, I guess I got to be the Joker. I guess I got to turn into the arch nemesis, the villain. And then as soon as they do that, they get all these women getting butt naked. So it's a learned behavior. Just like if a guy sends D pics and is successful, you think he's going to send more or less D pics? If one woman gives a man tail and rewards bad behavior for some D pics or some creepy behavior or disrespect, he's going to try with everybody. And eventually, the more it helps and the more it works, the more he tries it. And we always do what works. It's human nature. So it's not even like the person is always a villain or a terrible person. Not necessarily men in this part of the conversation. I'm not really referring to them specifically, but just people in general. We do what works. And so, yeah, if you have to give somebody super obvious feedback or criticism, it might be super obvious to you. But if it's not what has worked for him or what he's practiced or what has been required of him, then it's just you. And what's obvious for one person and required from one person might not be required from another. But love and respect, that's your standard, that's your boundary. Stick to it. I'm not telling you to back away from it. Sanja Till says, Sage, you are entitled to feeling badly. Look at Kev's last video. Absolutely. If you missed my last video, we talked about feelings and uh, I guess a man's intention to either accept or reject the totality of your feelings. Excuse me. Okay. So, Pretty Girl just sent me 1 or 2 questions. Okay. Mind your business. Mind your business. Mind your damn business. I like that. I appreciate you mind your business. I don't put the Z in there. I mind your damn business. But hey, tomato, tomato, I suppose. Mind your business says, and Pretty Girl sent me this from Texas. Love you, baby. She says, here's my question again. We met online, live on opposite coasts, friends first, then fell hard. We talk all day and every day, led by him, but no plans to meet. Turn this over. Led by him, but no plans to meet, and it's been 8 months. He's weight insecure. Mm. Ooh. Um, Okay, so listen. Um, I have trouble. Uh, I have trouble with people who don't meet out of insecurity. Partially because I feel like if the insecure is about weight, while there's a lot of a lot of biological reasons a person might be predisposed to being heavier, um, unless you have extreme knee or hip issues, or I mean, even if you do, you can change your eating habits. Not that I'm advocating for that weight isn't my issue. My issue is a grown man having an issue and not attacking the issue. That is my problem. Um, and so he has some options to handle his insecurity. If he's in love and he has the opportunity to love, he has the opportunity to better himself. That bothers me. I know that's not your question, but that bothers me that a grown man isn't handling an issue that's being an incumbent to him finding love in a way that he has not had an opportunity probably in a long time to do. I need him to be more driven and more passionate about getting the things in his life that he wants, not just for himself, but for you. If you were to start a relationship with him, this is the same type of guy, and I don't mean this shit on your man, but this is the same type of guy who says, "I want to be rich." You say, "Okay, baby, let's find something to do." Okay, okay. All right, this week I'm gonna be a truck driver. Then we'll buy a truck, and he's gonna get his whole plan. And then he never does it. Or he said, "I'm gonna go to college," and he never does. There's always going to be a thing that a person needs to do or work for or work toward. And if you're not motivated by love, by meeting the love of your life, I'm not sure what motivates you. And I'm not, and again, it's not about the weight, it's about this man's drive. So that's my problem. This is my personal problem. I don't believe a grown man, and maybe this is toxic masculinity on my part, because I think that, men need the grace to be flawed too. So I'm with that. But as a man, I feel ferocious. And while I might not even always meet my goals, when something becomes such an impediment to my progress that it stops me from seeing my woman and getting some cheeks, oh no, you got me all kind of fucked up. No, I don't like that. But that's not your question. Let me get back to your question, because your question is different than where I'm going. I just say that brother needs to be more passionate, more driven. But you met online, you live on opposite coast, your friends first, you feel hard, you talk all day and every day, and you say you're and it's led by him, so he's the one putting the work in, but he has no plans to meet. You're gonna have to force that issue. Uh, that's the only way. If you don't force the issue and you're never gonna meet, how many months are you gonna give this man who's not driven to make a change to make sure that this happens? How many months are you going to give this man of this relationship? How long are you going to be cut off from the opportunities at love in person, like real relationships, full relationships? How long are you going to give this person before you decide that you need a full relationship with proximity and with love? This is a long distance relationship. Even if this person didn't have security issues and you could meet him whenever, it's still hard to have a long distance relationship with a fully functional ego, let alone a person too insecure to meet you. I don't know two people who don't have plans to move into the same city who've been able to maintain a long distance relationship long term. Not too long, because if there's no plans to break the distance, then the relationship will break. So you have a huge impediment to success already in the opposite coast thing, and you multiply that with his insecurity. So how long before? How many pounds does he have to lose before he meets you? What does that look like? Is he on that? If he on that, is he on that goal? Like, all of that matters. And so for me, I don't know. Um, uh, you didn't really ask a question, but it doesn't sound promising. I'll say that. I think that you are dedicated. you are probably very loving and very accepting, and I think you deserve a person who wants to receive the fullness of that. And I'm not saying he doesn't, but I think that sometimes we try to nurse people back to health with our love, and self love should nurse a person back to health. Self love is the first medicine a person should be receiving. You can't love him and want him more than he wants himself, and you damn sure can't want it for both of y'all if he's refusing to see you because he's not in good shape. I just think that that's a lot. Um, I'd be just getting in some shape, and if it's been in 8 months, if I meet you and after 30 days I know that you're the one, man, I'm getting my ass on the treadmill. Yeah, 8 months he could have lost 60 pounds, 80 pounds. He could have lost a shit ton of pounds, depending on how big he is. And so I'm not shitting on heavy people or a person in this situation. What I'm saying is, if he's not driven enough at this point, what would motivate him to move to get closer to you? What will motivate him to lose the weight so he could finally meet you? What will motivate him to work hard and build a something great for the unit that you two have, like y'all build together? What motivates this man? We got to figure that out. So that's my bigger concern with him. Um, Good luck though. I mean, I really wish you luck. Uh, Somebody said, let me go to the bottom. So go to the bottom. All right. Um, Somebody said, Kevin, I'm gonna email you. Good night, y'all. Love and respect. Good night. Um, he's not overweight. He probably has a teardrop. She said he's not overweight. He probably has teardrop tattoos on his face. It's the same person. No, that's not my business. Um, yeah, now I think a person with a teardrop tattoo on his face, he want to show his gangster. He's not gonna be running from no meeting. The brothers are proud. A bag or a meal isn't reward enough to tolerate abuse. No, hell no. Whatever Lisa's talking about, I concur. Women are getting their asses whooped and getting women are getting defecated on in certain countries just to get next to some money. Women are flying over to the Middle East and getting defecated on. Did y'all know that? That's a lot. People really be doing anything for some money. Sage says, I gained 40 pounds earlier this year because of a lot of stress, and my husband pointed it out. If he didn't, I would have still been binge eating. Listen, it's a struggle. Hell, I was just in the worst shape of my life. Now, my worst shape is a lot different, so I'm not going to pretend to know the struggle of somebody who is really dealing with weight issues. But I was in the worst shape of my life a few months ago. Man, that pandemic really threw my damn workout schedule out. Not being able to go to the gym, not being motivated to use the gym in my house, and then I moved and had to pack my gym up and stick it in the storage unit. Man, I wasn't looking great. Uh, I just, for me, I wasn't, and so, I'm glad I'm kind of returning to form, but we all struggle with periods of less motivation, but we can't sit in that permanently. You got to get your ass up and go be everything you can be or hope to be. And if you're not willing to do that, then you got to take the results you get, and the judgment that you give yourself, others will give you too. And so sometimes we're upset that the world seems to be judging us for our inadequacy, whether it's our weight or our this or our that. But we judge ourselves. How can you require somebody to like you if you don't like you, or like a thing about you if you don't like that thing? You know. Oh, Silver Screen says I was saying he could be writing from prison. Oh yeah, hence the teardrop tattoo. I get you. I see where you did that. You got a complexity of thought that I had to catch up to you. Uh, yeah, it could be a catfish thing, but I'm imagining she's probably done some video calls with him at least. And if you haven't done video calls with him and it's been 8 months, you're definitely getting catfish. So yes, and if you want to know how I got catfish, there's a video on my channel. I think I dropped that about 2 months ago. The time I got catfish, maybe 3 months ago, but it was funny. Um, why is he so mean to me but treats her like a queen? Why? What am I doing? What is going on? What is going on, lovely K? Why is he so mean to me but treats her like a queen? I've missed the beginning of that conversation, but now I'm looking for it. Are you talking about a man and his woman? And who's the queen? Are you a side chick? Or are you the main woman? Or are you talking about somebody else? What the hell is going on? I don't know what you're talking about. I would like to know what the context of that conversation. That sounds very interesting. Um, I'm not even gonna try to answer it. I just somebody fill me in on what she talking about. Um, is it okay to let him know there's other guys courting you? I don't think that. I don't think it's in good taste to bring that information up unsolicited. I think if a guy is like, "Hey, listen, we don't know each other like that. We've been dating. It's been good. I just wanted to know if we were exclusive. Are you dating? Are you still investigating guys?" Say, well, yeah, I've been open to people. I've been investigating. Again, with the exclusive thing, the bigger issue. Oh, and I did a video. I did another video about exclusive, and I answered some questions about exclusive that some people asked me in the comment section, or a primary question. But the bigger issue with exclusive isn't necessarily a man scared of you going on a date. It's a man scared of you having sex with a man while he's investing in you and emotionally and financially while he's getting to know you. That's why you can't necessarily be jumping in bed with all the guys you date, because the guy you're trying to impress and the guy you're trying to grow with is going to assume that dating for you means sexual exploration as well. And so if a man wants you to be exclusive, it's primarily because he's trying to take you off the sexual market. He's trying to make sure that nobody else is, being sexual with you while he's investigating, because it will make him feel very foolish and very stupid. It would be a little bit emasculating for him emotionally and internally. So if you can maintain your abstinence during the dating process, um, when you tell a man you're still dating around, or you still are engaging in dates, or you're still open to men who might ask for your number, ask for your date until you get taken off the market, he's a lot less worried that that's going to turn into him paying for somebody else's bed warmer. Um, and humiliating him while he's doing all the hard work of trying to get to know and trying to grow emotionally. Somebody's just piping you. So that's why you really got to consider abstinence as you enter these relationship situations, because a man can't trust a woman hasn't observed being conservative. If you tell me that are dating, I'm assuming that everybody's doing to you what I'm doing to you. Um, I had a point. I can't remember what the point was. I talked away from my point, but somebody was asking about. I don't even remember anymore. So I had a point. I was answering a question, and I went away from what the hell I was talking about. Okay, Crystal P said my super chat question still hasn't been answered. Perfect, Crystal P. I'm looking at the bottom of the comment section. Just type it right here at the bottom of the comment section. I'm sticking to the bottom of the comment section. Just even if you got to type it in 2 sentences at a time, just type the question again so I can answer it. I don't mind answering it. I just don't see it. And then when you super chat it, you say the question is in the chat for your information. It's very like the chat be going crazy sometimes, so I don't be seeing all of the chats. So if you just type it into the question, Big J or Pretty Girl, just uh, send me the question. Big J send it to me. Pretty Girl send it to me. Somebody send me her question, or just type it again. Since just don't type about the question. Just type the question, and I get with you. Um, that's all I gotta do is just type the question. We be good. Girl now says, any suggestion on first date locations for women who haven't dated in a while, over a year? I work odd hours in manufacturing and want to get back out there. Yeah, first of all, I think you probably should find a guy who works similar hours or is an entrepreneur and has a flexible schedule. First date locations could be anywhere, any 24-hour location. A lot of coffee shops are 24 hours. You're just supposed to be getting to know a person, like really figuring out if you like a person, there's any chemistry at all. I can't stand like getting all crazy for a date and then you step into, you look at them, you're like, oh, this ain't it. Right. So if you work odd hours, the easiest way to do, especially if you like third shift, is do a morning date. After you get off work, have a 5 hour energy or something, and just go kind of get the vibe, see if the person's cool. And if they like you and you like them, they like your smell and you like their smell. I'm big on smells. Like if I would sit across from somebody and I don't like that they smell, I can't talk to them. I won't talk to them again. So like the stupid stuff, you got to get the stupid stuff out the way. Maybe the first date for you isn't so much a big event. It's just a meeting to introduce each other. Um, you know, but if you want to have an event or a great date, cool. But you just got to work around schedule. I don't know what schedule you have exactly, like where you what time you get off and things of that nature. So I would really need more information about your work schedule before I could give you kind of any ideas about a first date location. But I do know coffee shops open super early and sometimes close super late, depending on where you are in the country and what coffee shop you're going to. So that's why I suggested a coffee shop, because they're usually always available, um, especially around college campuses, because kids stay up all night doing homework at the damn things. But I can't really answer your question. I don't have enough information about the coffee shop. Did Crystal P answer her? Did she ask her question again yet? I don't see it yet. Um, I don't know what y'all got going on. Hey, Kev found a great guy. However, he does everything but doesn't invest financially with me. I don't know if it's stingy. What to do? Um, what do you mean invest financially with you? He's not taking you. He's not taking you on dates, or he's not taking you on expensive dates. What is his? I guess what I would be concerned about is if this is a he has an emotional attachment with money, and this is just how he operates. Does he just not spend money? Does he just live like a hobo even though he has access to capital? Or is it him specifically refusing to buy you a damn hot dog until y'all have sex, or until you're his girlfriend? Or does he just have a no money on women rule? Like I would like to know. Okay, we still waiting for Crystal P's question. I would like to know if he's taking you on a date at all, or if it's really been just like because I know Crunchy Black. This is my Crunchy Black. Was quoted on DJ Blast saying, "I won't buy a bunch of hot dog," and his teeth was falling out of his mouth while he was saying it, because his fronts are gone. He got a mouthpiece in, and when he said that, I was like, "Damn, man!" I remember that is a rule. A lot of men will not buy you a hot dog. Like, they don't want no money exchanged. But they have a very unique relationship, or not a unique at this point, a very toxic relationship with the idea of dating and women. Um, I would like I would like I would like to know a little bit more about what type of dates you've been on, since she hasn't invested in you financially. Uh, that's a damn gnat in here. It's pissing me off. I would like to know that, because investing could be he won't take me to a nice restaurant, or investing would be he ain't bought me a hot dog. All of that makes sense. All that matters. Mm, See, what does a guy think if you have male friends? He in general thinks your friends probably hit it at first, until he realizes the nature of the relationship, or he meets the guy and realizes he's not intimidated by that type of guy, or that type of guy's too weak to have hit it, or be a threat to him. Um, oh, so yeah, men don't generally like male friends, because most male friends are just sticking around to hit it, unless they find you ugly or repulsive, or they feel truly in their hearts like you're like related to them. And most of the time, that's not the case. Um, they have to You have to be unattractive in some way to them. Like, I used to have a really beautiful female friend, but I thought her mindset was garbage. She is spiritually gifted, but the stuff she was into, like, her friends were like lame as hell. So it's just like, I, the stop for me wasn't, oh, I wouldn't hit it. The stop for me was, man, I love her spirit, but I can't respect her mind all the way. And it for me, I need kind of a lot of to be going right before I start doing that on a regular basis with a person, because people get pregnant. Anyway, Lovely K. Okay, I'm interested in this. Earlier, she said he treats her like a queen and treats me like crap, or something to that extent. And so I asked for more context. He said he treats his baby mama like a queen. I read their message between each other. It was so nice and sweet and respectful, but he talks to me and treats me like trash compared to her. He treats his baby mama like a queen because she holds his nuts in her hands. Unless the baby is over 18, shit, I'll be talking to her like my boss, like the royal queen of England. Shit, I'm not gonna disrespect a woman who can control when I see my boys or my kids. And so that's probably what that is. He's probably just trying to show her respect because he knows that whatever he gives her, it trickles down into how she speaks about him around his sons. However he treats her, her sons ultimately are his kids are watching and they take information from that, right? He knows that if he mistreats her, abuses her, treats her like he treats you, it could have adverse effects on his parenthood or his relationship with his kids, not to mention what she could do to make his life a living hell and be uncooperative in the way that they share their visits and time with the children and how she talks about their father. So he's trying to maintain his influence in that house and his proximity to his children, probably by just treating her like she has to be the queen of England, or the queen of the world of Africa. Pick a country that still has a monarchy. And England stole the wealth of Africa, so anyway. Um, So that's why he treats her like a queen because he needs to. He treats you like crap because he probably doesn't need you. Do you? I'm sure you probably don't have a child by him, so he's not under pressure to maintain a forever type of relationship with you. Uh, them Bitcoin scammers back in here. Them motherfuckers are the ones that hack my channel. Man, I wish I could catch up to one of you bitches. Anyway, my bad. Do you believe having a classy dating profile is still a good way to meet dates, or is it a joke in hookup culture now? Hookup culture, I don't know if hookup culture cares very much about how classy your dating profile is. They care about how attractive you are and how much they want to, how sexy you are. But if by chance you find a man who's like you, and I'm assuming you're a quality person looking for a quality relationship, the assumption that a lot of women make that, and men make this assumption too, is just how they ended up on that red pill shit in the beginning. But the assumption that women make about them all being good humans and all men being shitty and all men wanting sex and none of the assumption that there are not men just like them who are tired of games, who just want the permission to like someone, who just want the permission to be genuine, who just want the permission to be available, to give, to call, to text promptly, who just want the permission to be real in liking a person. Like it's a most men don't have options, right? Like they don't. They most men, 90% of men don't have options. 90% of men don't have the access to women. 90% of men don't have sex on a regular basis. Like unless you think every couple of weeks or every couple of months is a regular basis, y'all think all these guys are just piping down everything. And at this point, it's possible, but most men don't have options, and most women who are loose and liking a lot of guys, they're still getting piped down by the nicest guys, the nicest looking guys, and most wanted guys. They're still getting piped down by the man. They ain't getting piped down by no lames, and most men are lame. Most men are average. Most men make average money, look average, way average, their average height, average size, average everything, and very low confidence because they've been conditioned to think less of themselves based on the bag or how much money they got or what's in their wallet or what they got on their ass and back, what kind of clothes they got on. So when we talk about hookup culture, we are referring to a great majority of people who just have lost hope and love and self-sabotage because of it. But there are still men just like you who are not interested in hookup culture, who want a safe relationship, and so you have to keep that hope alive that exists. And if you can't, then you have a very sad future in the dating pool. You have to keep hope alive. So if you are classy, be classy. Don't change for hookup culture. And know that there is a man out there much like you. But I think that you should go out more in person and try to figure out if you can find somebody that connects with you in person, by again, when you see a handsome man, be nice to him, smile, make conversation, neutral conversation, be intellectual, and allow him to try to stretch the interaction and leave home with your number because he wanted to make more of that small interaction. uh, but yes, hookup culture is some bullshit, but it is what it is. Sherry Carter, he did pick me up and took me to meet his coworkers. Thought that was weird too. Now I'm out of context. Um, Can you explain the courting steps after meeting and when we should start talking on the daily and how soon should a relationship be established? That depends. Everybody has a different work schedule. Everybody has a different self-discovery journey. Everybody has a different level of vulnerability. Everybody has a different level of mental stability. Everybody has a different level of emotional intelligence. So I can't require everybody to operate at the fullness and at the top ranks of emotional intelligence or vulnerability or self-awareness, right? So it does take different time frames for different people. If I'm generalizing, after meeting, let's say you get to the first date, however you must get there, you get to the first date. Well, after the first date, I think that within a week, another date should be made. That's a good timeline for me if you're just asking my opinion. And after the second date, within a few days, at least we should have an understanding that we're going out again. By the end of date four, you do that twice. And by the end of date four, the understanding should be, hey, we're doing our Friday thing, right? Right. Like not even really a will we go out again type of thing. Um, After 6 to 8 dates, uh, you should have established a speaking every day type of checking in type of thing. Not checking in as a possessive, but just like needing each other's energy in interaction. Just like you check in with Instagram, you check in with Facebook, you check in with YouTube. You just checking in with the person you enjoy talking to. At that point, you should have by 8 dates, you should have experienced enough communication that you have a rapport and you have a dynamic and you have a running conversation and you're experiencing new shared experiences together. So you should be speaking daily. If you can't grow to a place where you're speaking daily by 8 dates, you don't have a chance. This person isn't interested enough. They don't have enough passion about you at that point. If you can sit in front of somebody for a few hours at a time, 8 times, probably kiss at that point. People usually kiss on the first, second, or third day. So you're probably kissing at that point, probably making out. Most people are having sex by that point, and they shouldn't be. That's fucking stupid. But whatever. Who am I? Just some guy from the internet. But by 8 days, you should be talking every day. And if you're not increasing the frequency of communication after every day, if you're only talking once a week or only not talking on the phone but texting, after every day, there should be more frequent communication. Not because he should follow that rule, but because there should be a genuine level of interest grown between those interactions. Right. The more I know about you, the more I like you. The more I know about you, the more I want to interact with you. The more I want you to be a part of my day. The more I want to converse with you. Over time, that turns into we talk every day. Some people talk for hours. I don't need a particular time zone or time limit. But when I met my wife, it was funny. She called me at 5:14 in the morning. Um, I gave her my number. It took her 10 days to call me, and then when she called me, she called at 5:14 in the morning. And I was up because I was on a friend's couch, and we talked for man, I want to say like 2 hours. I didn't even go to sleep. It was like 7 o'clock. It was 7:30, I think, 7:24 or something like that. And I went to sleep, and I had to wake up at like 10 to go to the doggone amusement park with my friend and his wife because I was sleeping on the couch because we was going to the amusement park in the morning, not because I was bumming. Anyway, hell, we talked. We worked up to talking every day. It might have been like we did that 2 or 3 day thing like twice, and then we was just having such great conversations. Like, what are we doing? We didn't have that problem. We just started talking more frequently. We were talking every day. By the time we went on our date, we had talked at least 5 or 6 times. We talked all that week. We set up a date. And we talked and talked and talked and talked and shit. I've talked to my wife pretty much every day since our first date. I've talked to my wife every day since our first date. 14 years ago or 13 years ago or however many years, 2008, right before Obama got elected, June 21st. So it don't take a long time to establish that you are into each other and there's some passion to get to know each other. Um, I think too often we give people way too much time. And I think when people need that much time, they're just not ready for a relationship. And instead of accepting that, we take months to try to act like we're getting familiar and getting to know each other. I don't think it's necessary. I think a person who needs months to work up to where they're willing to hear your voice every day just don't want you, to be quite honest. That's just how I feel. But again, all I can tell you is who I am, and I'm a talker. I'm a person who's intentional. I know what I want, I go after it. I don't do that shit where I leave the door open for all the other stuff. But everybody's different. So I hope that helps. Um, uh, Crystal P says she placed her question multiple times. She gives up. Damn, Crystal P, just email me. Does any because no JC's looking for the question. JC, so it's not so Jay's looking for the question. I'm looking for the question. Pretty girl hasn't seen the question. Nobody else has seen the question. Otherwise, they would have just um, they would have just Crystal P. Send me a personal. If you on Instagram, send me a personal message on Instagram. Say I'm Crystal P. This is my question. Just copy and paste it in Instagram or write me at kevhickbusiness@yahoo.com. Kev Hick business spelled correctly at yahoo.com. KEVHICK, the word business at yahoo.com. Place your question. I want to ask you a question. I want to ask you a question because you super chatted me. Now you might have done it last week too. You might be blocked. I don't know if you've said something rude in the past or you're saying a cuss word, some no word that YouTube doesn't like. There are some no words that immediately make your question invisible in my queue, and then YouTube has their own no word. So you might be saying a no word. Uh, so I hope that helps. I was just about to answer a question. Let me see. Somebody said, "Why didn't you ask for your wife's number, Kev?" I did. I did. Nana Power says, "Why didn't you ask for it?" Because my wife called me. I gave her my number, and she called me at 5:14 in the morning. Excuse me. I did ask for my wife's number. I talked to my wife for 4 days on MySpace. I asked for her number. She told me no, she don't give her number out, and she's never met a guy online before, so she ain't doing that. But I can give her mine. So I gave her my number, and then we continued to talk for like another 10 days. And after that 10 days, she called me at 5:14 in the morning because every day I was rushing to the computer talking to her as if I didn't realize we wasn't on the phone. So we got tired of writing books to each other, and then she finally called me. That's what happened. But I tried to get her number. I jumped immediately. I actually tried to do it twice. I might have tried to do it twice. I think the first day, like, yo, what's your number? And now, okay, try 4 days later, that didn't work either. So, so I just gave her my number out of desperation. Like, yo, okay, we having a great conversation. If you feel more comfortable doing that, making that first move, that's cool. You can have that. But I'm gonna talk to you until we talk on the phone. That was where I wanted to go with that. And she just eventually was like, okay, damn, he's really not going nowhere. We're still typing paragraphs. We might as well call him. But it took 10 days after I asked her the last time of paragraph typing to get her to call me. And so it was really me making the first move, but she just was obliging me at that point, like, all right, now. But we was having a great conversation though. It was an amazing conversation. So it didn't feel like 10 days. We were just talking. Somebody said, thank you for your super chat, Faith. I think you already showed some love. Appreciate you. She said, "What do you think about dating someone you're not 100% attracted to, settling and or being realistic? He chews his nails. Do I find these things unattractive because I generally just don't like the guy?" That's probably one thing when you're looking at a person and you find yourself disgusted. You probably just generally don't like them. That's different from not being 100% attracted. I can not be 100% attracted to you, but not be disgusted by you. I could not be 100% attracted to you, but still have very good sexual chemistry, and still perform for you. When you start talking about he chews his nails and he breathes with his nostrils open too much and his lip looks funny. Like when you start picking at the brother chewing his nails, and that is kind of gross. I don't like when people be like gnawing on their hands and their hands be all gross looking. So that can be gross. I get it. But maybe you're just repulsed. Now me, I don't think you need to be 100% attracted to a person to investigate them, to date them, to fall in love with them, and to ultimately grow in your attraction. I do not think that. But again, it takes you really being not repulsed by them. You have to start by being not repulsed. I can be indifferent to somebody's like appearance, but I can't be repulsed to it. Somebody can be all right, and I could be madly in love with them in time, and really like their them physically in time. But I can't be disgusted by a person. When you find yourself disgusted by nail chewing and I'm just assuming other things stupid like that, you probably just don't like them a lot. Um, I do have a word on settling or being realistic. Excuse me. I think that we do have this opportunity to date and to love and to build with a person for a very short window. Um, for some people's window starts in their 20s, some people's window starts in their 30s, some people's window starts in their 40s. Some people will be 60 years old and just kind of get into a place and getting married. So I'm not deciding where your window starts or stops. That's not this conversation. But when God sends us the opportunities to love and to be loved, I think that every opportunity that isn't toxic, every opportunity that isn't harmful to us, and every opportunity that is presented by a person who respects us, who values us, who intends to love us truly, who's loyal, who's principled, and who has integrity. When those opportunities to meet good human beings and fall in love with them happen, we have to make sure to fully investigate them. We get too caught up in trying to find the best of the best. Everybody wants the top 10%, and then they say they're not fully 100% attracted to anybody that's not of options or not highly sought after, or they don't have a particular type of handsome or a particular type of attractive quality that you've been looking for. If you've been looking for tall and dark, and he's tall and light, or if you've been looking for a stocky man because you like big guys and he's a little bit bony. Like, it's these things that we say, oh, well, I want what I want. I'm not settling. Listen, these people are prosperity gospel preachers. And I know people accuse guys who help women of being prosperity simps and whatever. I don't give a fuck about that. I keep it real with everybody about everything, and that's the problem. They don't like that. But some people will tell you never to settle, and they don't know how many opportunities you have left. They don't know how many opportunities you passed. They don't know how deserving you are. They just tell you don't settle. They don't even know what your hangups are. Some of that shit is stupid. Okay. I would much rather have lived and loved than to have waited for the perfect person who never came. I would much rather have found a person and built with them the life I wanted instead of waiting for a person who had the life I wanted so I can join them. I would much rather have amazing sex with my 7 than wait for a 10 that never arrives, or the 10 comes, bangs, conquers, and leaves. And yes, you've been with a 10. Good for you. Congratulations. But you didn't get what you was looking for, which was love. Your overall need was love. I got a question from Crystal P. I finally got a question. Pretty girl found a question. I'm not sure if it's your original question, but I'm going to answer your question, Crystal P. And thank you for your patience. Um, but yes, I don't think that settling is an idea that has served people very well, because it's generally only applied to good human beings that you're not overwhelmingly attracted to. If a man makes you horny when you see him, if he's really attractive, if he immediately gets your engine going, you'll settle for his shitty behavior. You'll settle for mistreatment. You'll settle for abuse. You'll settle for cheating. You'll settle for getting talked down to. Is that settling, or did you just get the man you wanted? Right? You can't settle for a good human being, in my opinion. I just don't believe that. And so for me, maybe I'm unrealistic, but I think that some people are prosperity gospel preachers when they start talking about don't settle, don't so you can get what you want, because they're not really serious, because everybody can't have the 10. And as much as I hate to say it, you know, his methodology was very flawed, and the way he talked down to women was extremely shitty, and his really weird ass attitude about how he was defending men, it was different. But there is a point to be made about people dating within the realm of possibility for them. And it's not necessarily possibility because anything is possible, but it's likelihood. The likelihood of you finding, and I got your question, Crystal P. I'm gonna answer. I got two. I got Sandra Till and Crystal P. I'm going. This season, lady is sleeping. Okay. Good night, Sandra Till. I appreciate you. And I'm gonna answer Crystal P's question. But yeah, be realistic about which realm of dating, which dating pool you're in, because a lot of people are not, and it causes them a lot of bullshit. But also realize that you can't settle for a good human being that it wants to love you intentionally. And if you just learn to accept love instead of needing the validation to be ripped away from you and then given back strategically so you have enough butterflies, you'll find love. And most of us can. Crystal P and then Drell Johnson. Crystal P, should we continue dating a guy with bad hygiene? Hell no. He's gonna throw your pH balance off. If he don't care enough about you, that was your question. You could have just wrote that. You probably wrote it the nasty way, which is probably why YouTube was blocking your comments. Probably said a no word. Uh, and then I got you, Drell. Uh, yeah, hell no. No, you shouldn't continue dating a man with bad hygiene. He gonna throw your pH balance off. That's rule number one. You know, stupid ass, dumb ass, irresponsible penis Nick Cannon was talking about how all the women need help with their hygiene from you, for a man. The nerve of this man with balls to assume that he knows more about cleaning a woman's system than she does is just ridiculous. Even so, um, there's something to be said about hygiene. And as much as people don't like to admit it, as much as people say, well, woman smells like this and so, there's some stanky balls having motherfuckers ass out here. There's some guys out here that don't take care of themselves at all. And if you're sleeping with men who don't wash and who don't have good hygiene, it's gonna throw your pH balance off, and then you're gonna be smelling like you come from that household that people don't wash. That's just how that goes. And it could also make you sick. So please don't just, if he ain't gonna wash his ass, is he a man? Is he a grown up adult? Like, is he? Do you even adult? Like, what is that about? I don't know. No, no, no. We're not gonna do that. That's why your question. You probably said his balls are thing stink or something. You probably said something bad, which in YouTube seen a no word. That's why they blocked your comment. So I'm sorry about that. But yeah, no, stop dating a guy with a bad hygiene. Unless tell him he got bad hygiene one time. If you don't start washing his ass on a regular basis and it doesn't become culture for him, then don't talk to him again. That's just how I feel. That's weird. That's a weird ass adult issue to have, isn't it? It's like he said he peed in a bed or something. See if he doesn't shower every day. Some guys are a little rugged, but if he's got bad hygiene where you like, mm, I'm good. And I don't know how he treats you, so maybe he's a really great guy, but you need to have a talk with his ass and see if you can, I don't know, talk to him, and if you don't fix it, then never again. You can't hit it unless you wash. That's the rules. Um, Jarrell Johnson, I'm gonna get off of here in 10 minutes. Jarrell Johnson says, coming into his own again, we are serious in introducing each other to family and kids. That's good. That's good. I don't know why you mentioned again. I don't know what the context was before this period. But it's good that you reached a place where when you're serious and you're introducing each other to family and kids. That means you vetted him. You made sure that he's worthy of the company of your children. That means that you believe him to be a safe intellectual and emotional investment for your children. I'm hoping that means you've asked your children if they are ready for the energy that is going to appear in their lives and probably change it quite a bit. I'm hoping that you've assessed his leadership skills and his temperament, um, and his belief systems. Because if he's going to be the man in your life, then that is going to be the temperament and the belief system that either adds to your child's trajectory and positive experience or makes them feel like, damn, life was good before mom got with so and so. I know a lot of women who let a man come into their life, and because they like him and they have gotten a companionship from him, they think that, well, yeah, he's a man and he's gonna be good for the kids. It'd be good for them to have a man in the house, but a man and any man are not just good for kids. You have to have a special man. He has to be a man who intends to love kids, and who has a temperament for kids. A lot of women, a man move into the house and they terrorize the kids. His presence is intimidating. He's not nurturing with the children. He just creates ownership and possession spirits in the home, and then they feel like their safe place that you've established over the years of you being single is now interrupted. And if they don't have fathers present that protect them, that they can seek refuge in energetically, then it can be very traumatic for kids. So be very careful. Make sure that you're moving in alignment with what your kids also want for their lives. And I know you shouldn't have to do that, but before you move in with this gentleman or move him in your house or move your kids into his house, um, be mindful of what their needs are, because you can screw a kid up with the wrong male energy, because it looms and it's ever present even when they're not there. It feels it can be rough. You can still date that guy, but wait till your kids are out of the house before you do it, if you got to. If he's not right for your children, but you're dating him, that doesn't mean they're dating him unless they decide that they're open to his energy. So just be mindful. Um, all right, I got a couple minutes. I'm gonna go down to the bottom. um, Jacqueline said, "Can you please answer Sana Rambos's question?" Let me see. I'm gonna try to find it. I'm try to find it. I don't know. I don't know exactly where it is. Okay, here we go. I feel pressure to go to his house, but we've only spoken on the phone a few times and met briefly in person. I suggested public places, but he keeps going back to me about coming to his home. Advice. I hope you're still in here. Don't go to his fucking house. Why would you do that? You don't know this man. Date rape is a thing. It's still a thing. It's been a thing since forever. It's always going to be a thing. And when a man is not respecting your boundaries and respecting your sense of safety, he's lording over how the connections need to be met and made. I don't trust it. I'm gonna be honest. I don't like when people don't respect that type of boundary, because that boundary is rooted in your sense of safety and self-preservation. And when a man is interrupting that, and a man is not respecting your sense of safety and self-preservation, tells me that he might not care too much about boundaries. The first thing a decent human being and a good man establishes when he's trying to get a woman, get closer to a woman, is her sense of safety. He wants her to feel safe. He wants her to know she has a choice. And he's very, very aware of her level of comfort. And he wants it to always be intact because he wants her to feel safe with him. You cannot be a provider and a protector if a woman feels in danger around you, if she feels anxiety, right? You want a woman to want to be up under you, right? Up under your guard. You want a woman to be up under your arms, feeling like she's the safest woman in the world, right? Um, every woman I've ever dated has always said the same thing. They said they always felt very safe and loved around me, right? And I'm the type of person, I conduct an exit interview. Okay, I'm like that. I value the safety and the sense of safety that I give a woman, because I take that very serious. Even my friends were safe around me. I'm the first to fight. If my friends were around me and somebody was like, yo, you, and they about to fight, I'm like, man, get out the way. I got this. And that's because I come from a very violent place. Like I fought every kid in the projects within 6 inches up or down that my brother could find when I was a kid, all the time. So I always wanted to protect, whether it was my homeboy or whether it was my friend. I'm jumping in front of the punch. I'm doing what I got to do to make sure that people get home safe with me. So for me, when I'm dating a woman, or when I was dating a woman, and the friends that I have, we always wanted to make sure that a woman felt safe with us. That makes you feel like a man. So when you're telling a woman, yo, come to my house, she's like, man, I don't know you like that. Or, I don't really like to do that. Come on, just come on. He's trying to get you to his house so he can smash you, so he can put pressure on you to smash. I don't know a man who's not trying to smash, who's pressuring a woman to break any boundary that she's built. He's worried about his experience and his convenience, what he wants. He wants you at his house because it's closer to a couch or a bed. That's why. He can't hit it. He can't pressure you. He can't put intimidation on you to have sex with you at a restaurant. He can't do that in a public place. He wants you at his house because he has the control, the dominion, and the familiarity with the area. You don't have a chance if he decides he wants to be a creep or one of those women who are one of those guys who either send D-pics or put women in that position where 1 in 5 of them have been traumatized in some way like that. Hell no, don't go to his house. You briefly met in person. He's trying to he's probably watching a lot of red pill dating advice. Don't spend non-sexual time with a woman. Make her come right to your house because it's closer to a bed. Put sexual pressure on her. If she ain't gonna give you none, she better give you something next time, or you ain't gonna waste your time. He might think investments of energetically, emotionally, or financially a waste of time with women. He's trying to get you in his house so he can smash or take it. Do not go to his house. In fact, you should probably stop talking to him because he doesn't respect boundaries, and that's the type of relationship he's going to offer you. Every time you have a boundary, every time you have a request, every time you have something you want, he's going to be telling you what he wants, and it's always going to trump what you want. And he's showing you now because he doesn't even know you. He's supposed to be trying to establish a sense of safety and establish a sense of respect, and he's not doing either. He's just trying to get you to his house so he can smash. Stop talking to this man. Never talk to him again. Fuck that nigga. Anyway, Vinay, love and respect. She sends $4.99 super chat. I appreciate you. Yeah, we don't talk to that guy again. And thank you for the super chat today. I really do appreciate super chats. I got a new house and a new mortgage, and we need some super chats. We need super thanks too. Them super thanks tips was wonderful. I made $100 last month off of super thanks. I didn't even know that thing was. I didn't even know it existed. I just enabled it, and I was like, oh shit, I got $100 in tips this month. That was awesome. I appreciate it. Listen, I ain't too big for my britches. Every dollar counts. Sunstar. Okay, y'all got something else going on with the conversation. Let me go to the bottom. 2 more questions, and then I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna try to watch some TV or relax. I got to get up early in the morning and do 4 more videos. I did 4 videos this morning. I'm gonna try to do 4 more. Love and respect. Thank you for the super chat. Just love. Cool image, by the way. Looks like I thought it was a pole, and then I thought it was a tail, but it's just your arm. Anyway, really cool image. Question H. I get it. That's cool. I got you. I feel where you come from. Question H. I appreciate your super chat. Thank you so much. Let me see. I'm going to answer one more question and I'm going to get off of here. Got time for one more to follow up with Derail. What Derail talking about? Hi, I have a question. Love and respect. I hope maybe this is the same Derail. I have a question about men who are sitting back on his feet. I'm dating a guy who is getting back on his feet. I'm sorry, getting back on his feet. Getting back settled from his business going under. He has a full plate on my birthday. He sent me to it's probably going to give me some spa. He sent me to the spa, but left me for the rest of the day because he thought I was ignoring the fact that he has other things going on. How can I be supportive of him? I think that, yeah, you can be supportive of him by respecting his time and stuff like that. But you say he left you for the rest of the day because he thought you were ignoring the fact that he has other things going on. You got to have a conversation with this man about how he addresses his irritations, his frustrations. When a man ignores you on purpose to punish you, or punitive behavior when you're dating somebody is a red flag because you don't know how far that goes. Right. You don't want to fall in love with someone who starts to realize that their punishment is what controls your behavior. And so they start strategically punishing you with silence. Right. If he had an issue with you not respecting his time, he needs to learn how to speak up about that. He needs to learn how to say, hey, listen, I got a lot going on. I'm under a lot of stress. I wanted to make this day special for you, but I can't actually be present with you today. And you need to be able to say, hey, first of all, I'm sorry that you felt like I was not respecting your time, and I'm really appreciative of what you've done for my birthday. But if you have an issue with me trying to call you or contact you while you're busy, I understand that. But I'd rather have a discussion than you ignoring me or giving me the runaround, or just text me and say, hey, I'm really busy, and be sweet to me. You always have, like, be sweet to me when we're not getting along. Be sweet to me when we're just not understanding each other, but still be sweet. Don't just neglect me. Don't abandon me. Even so, if you have abandonment issues, you need to get them together. And I don't know if you have abandonment issues, and that's what he was referring to. Santa Rainbow says thank you and sends a $2 super chat. Thank you so much for your super chat. But yeah, um, when you have an issue with me, don't just abandon me. But me, I'm supposed to also give you the space to be great. So you said, how can you support him? You can support him by having a more open line of communication about the schedule. I think that if you just become a little bit more logistical, maybe it helps you to avoid having that disagreement where you miss each other, and then there's a beef, right? There's some frustration because now there's a punishment issue. And maybe he wasn't trying to punish, but that's the result. That's what it feels like. You want to be more supportive. Don't necessarily ask him, hey, what you doing, which schedule? I want to make sure I got time to talk to you. It's not about that. It's about, hey, I want to make sure that I'm respecting your time. I want to make sure that I'm respecting your tasks. Let's discuss an appropriate plan so that I can at least move freely within these time frames while we date. And as you get to know each other, if you become his wife or his girlfriend, then you can talk to him whenever you want. At least you can reach out, because I don't think a woman should be not being able to contact her significant other for any reason. Um, at least have that permission and have that line of communication open. Evelyn L or Evelyn L. Even so, Evelyn or Evelyn, thank you so much for your super chat. I really appreciate it. Um, so yeah, that's what you do. If you want to be supportive of him, you just have to first figure out if he's willing to accept support. A lot of times, men who are busy, especially men trying to come back from what they believe to be failure or defeat, they don't necessarily accept support. And that's the biggest issue a lot of times. And if he's not accepting support, or he won't accept love, then you can't give him that skill. So you have to accept that. But if he will allow you to collaborate with him to make sure that you both get the time you're looking for, that's the best. That's the best answer to this riddle. But I don't like him putting you on ice because you gave him too much. I think that that's wrong. But I don't know how many times you called him or texted him either. So just within reason, try to work with each other. But that's a discussion that you have. That's some vulnerability it takes. That's some willingness to see yourself and be aware of your flaws and what you've done. Um, you can't have that conversation from a place of I'm right, you're wrong. Let's figure out how to make me more comfortable. It has to be collaborative, and even though he's irritated, it still has to be some collaboration on his part to make sure that you don't feel like you need to reach out, or you don't feel like he's trying to punish you. You both need to want to get around this and find a solution. If you just want the solution that he thinks he told you and that's what it is and that's what it's going to be, then it won't work. You can't make him collaborate with you. But that's what a relationship is. A relationship is a collaboration. Cooperation is interdependence. It's two people working to maintain the same goal of a healthy relationship. So you got to start there. And maybe as an opportunity, if you have a new relationship, to have to come to Jesus moment and talk about, how to move forward in a better way. That was my last question. It's okay to be happy. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I really appreciate you. I appreciate all the super chats. I appreciate all the super thanks I've been getting on my videos. I don't know how to thank you individually, so that's why I keep mentioning it here. It really helps. Trust me, it really helps. My YouTube was on that ground because I hadn't been I hadn't been posting videos because I was moving and stuff for like a month. So them super chats really help out. Have a wonderful night. Thank you for everybody who's watched, everybody who's joined me. I will be uploading a lot of content this month. Like I said, even if you can't watch it, please just subscribe, hit the notification bell, So you have the option to watch it, so you know it exists. Go to girltalkwithguys.com. The link is in the description of every one of my videos for the most part. If you want coaching, don't forget, if you enjoyed a Fatherhood Never Stops t-shirt, or the Motherhood Never Stops t-shirt intrigues you, go to the link that I put at the very top of this comment section if it's still there. If not, it's in the link of the video I posted today. Check our t-shirt merch out for the Fatherhood Village. It's soon to be the Parenthood Village. We're merging the Fatherhood Village and the Parenthood Village together, so we will have a female-friendly merch on there as well. I think that's it. Follow me at kevhick24 on Instagram. Share my shit with Baller Alert, Shade Room, Spiritual World, all of them media outlets that make shit hot, and put all that garbage on there, and like share my stuff with them. Maybe they can actually share some decent advice, because most of the shit they share on there is trash. It's terrible advice, but it's a viral, clickable topic, so I get it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Good night, everybody. So try to click off.